Coming at you right now are the top 25 vocab words that you need to know for your real estate examination. Brokers, salespersons all over the United States. These 25 are definitely the words that you need to know to crush that exam. Without further ado, I'll see you on the inside. Conveyance. A conveyance is the voluntary and legal transfer of real property rights or interests from one party to another. Conveyance is typically accomplished through the use of a deed, lease, or other legal documents that confirms the change in ownership. Title. Title is the legal concept of ownership, representing the rights to possess, use, and transfer the property. It includes all legal rights associated with the property, and having clear title means that there are no defects or claims against it. Agency. Agency is a legal relationship where a real estate agent represents a client in a transaction, acting on their behalf. The agent owes fiduciary duties to their client, and they're obligated to act in the client's best interest. Freehold estate. A freehold estate refers to ownership interests in real property that is of indefinite duration. It grants the owner full rights to use, occupy, lease, or sell the property as they choose. Latent defects. Latent defects are hidden flaws in the property that may not be visible or discoverable during a standard inspection. These issues can impact the property's safety, value, or usability and are often required to be disclosed by the seller. Appurtenances. An appurtenance is a right or improvement that belongs to and passes with the ownership of land. Examples include rights of way, water rights, or improvements like a shed or a fence attached to the property. Caveat emptor. Latin for let the buyer beware. This principle places responsibility on the buyer to examine and evaluate a property's condition before purchase. Buyers must conduct their own due diligence, as sellers may not be obligated to disclose all defects. Assignment. An assignment is the act of transferring one party's rights or interests in real estate contracts to another party. This is common with leases or purchase agreements and is typically subject to approval by the original contracting parties. Improvement. An improvement is any permanent addition or change made to the land that enhances its value or utility. Examples include buildings, driveways, fencing, and utilities like septic systems or electricity. Encumbrance. An encumbrance is a claim, lien, easement, restriction, or other limitation that affects the ownership or use of a property. Encumbrances can reduce the property's value or limit its transferability, but do not necessarily prevent a sale. Facilitator. A facilitator, also known as a transaction broker, is a neutral party who assists both buyer and seller in completing a real estate transaction without representing either side. They do not owe fiduciary duties, but must remain fair and honest to all parties. TRID. TRID stands for TILA RESPA Integrated Disclosure and is part of federal law requiring lenders to provide borrowers with clear loan information. It ensures borrowers understand loan terms, costs, and risks before closing, often referred to as the know before you owe rule. Defeasance clause. A defeasance clause is a mortgage provision that nullifies the lender's claim to the property once the borrower repays the loan in full. It protects the borrower's rights to regain clear title upon fulfilling all debt obligations. Lien. A lien is a legal claim against a property used as security for a debt, such as a mortgage or unpaid property tax. It must typically be resolved before the property can be sold or refinanced. Alienation. Alienation is the transfer of ownership or property rights from one party to another, whether voluntary, such as selling or gifting, or involuntary, such as foreclosure or eminent domain. Chattel. Chattel refers to personal property that is movable and not permanently attached to land. Common examples include furniture, clothing, and farm equipment, distinguishing it from real property. Truth in Lending Act, TILA. TILA is a federal law that mandates full disclosure of loan terms, including interest rates, finance charges, and payment schedules. Its goal is to protect consumers from unfair lending practices and ensure informed borrowing decisions. Statute of Frauds. This legal principle requires certain types of contracts, including real estate sales and leases over 1 year, to be in writing to be enforceable. Its purpose is to prevent fraud and misunderstandings in major transactions. Habendum Clause. The Habendum Clause is found in a deed. The Habendum Clause describes the ownership rights being transferred, including any limitations or conditions. It often begins with the words "to have" and "to hold." Cloud on title. A cloud on title is any condition or claim that casts doubt on the property's ownership, such as liens, disputed heirs, or unresolved legal issues. It must be cleared before a title can be considered marketable. Fixture. A fixture is an item that was once personal property that has been permanently attached to real property, such as lighting, built-in cabinets, or plumbing. Fixtures are generally included in the sale unless otherwise stated. Deed. A deed is a legal document that transfers title and ownership of real property from one party to another. It must be delivered and accepted to be valid and usually includes a description of the property and the names of the parties involved. Zoning ordinance. Zoning ordinances are local laws that regulate land use, dictating what types of buildings can be constructed and how properties can be used in specific areas. Zoning categories include residential, commercial, industrial, and agricultural. Fiduciary duties. These are the legal and ethical obligations an agent owes to their client, including loyalty, confidentiality, obedience, full disclosure, accounting, and reasonable care. Violating fiduciary duties can lead to legal consequences. Marketable title. Marketable title means the property ownership is free from significant liens, encumbrances, or title defects, making it unacceptable for a sale. A buyer should be able to obtain the title insurance and have confidence that title is legally valid. So these 25 words and way more is something that you're going to find in our brand new study guide. I'll put a link in the description. Check it out if you feel like it. It will be awesome. It is not only the what to study, it's how. And it's a great guide to get you oriented with what you need to know for this examination in addition to those 25 words. So check it out and we'll see you in the next one.